G'day, I'm Paul Chappell, founder of the Elevenses, a fundraising campaign where we're asking Australians to donate $11 by the 11th of the 11th 11 this Friday. Over 11 million people are desperate for food, water and medical supplies in East Africa today. It's caused by the worst drought in over 60 years. Me and my mate Craig Brown decided that we wanted to do something a little bit more than just donate money. We wanted to raise more awareness of the situation in East Africa because, quite simply, the media hasn't been covering it enough. Unfortunately, this is known as the children's famine. 40% of children in Somalia are malnourished, and of those 40%, half of them are severely malnourished. 250 children on average die every day. That's 6 per minute. Tens of thousands of people have died since the famine was declared in July this year. This isn't the first time that Somalia and neighbouring countries have had a food crisis. Back in the 90s, there was a very similar situation, except back then the UN and the US were prepared to intervene to make sure that critical aid got through to the people who needed it most. At the moment, with economic conditions and political situations, governments around the world are less likely to intervene, which makes the situation a whole lot worse for the people of East Africa. The actual forecast in Somalia isn't looking that good either. Usually around this time of the year, October and November, they expect rains to offset the dry season. They are starting to fall, but it's simply not enough rain to offset the huge drought that they're facing right now. That means that food production won't kick in again for at least another 12 to 18 months, which means Somalia and neighbouring countries are dependent entirely on international aid. Of course, this is all a very simple explanation of a very complex situation in East Africa. Personally, I find it a terrible tragedy that there's enough food on this planet to feed all 7 billion of us 3 meals a day, and yet 11 million people in East Africa are without food. The Elevenses has a very simple message. Donate $11 by the 11th of the 11th 11 to help over 11 million people. We don't expect to raise enough money to end the problem, but $11, one single donation, can actually feed 8 people for 1 month, or it can supply a whole family with its medical needs. And right now, with the rains coming and the spread of diseases like measles, malaria and cholera, those medical supplies are urgently required. Please, we're asking you to donate $11, the cost of a lunch. It's not much, but it will make a world of difference to many people in East Africa. Thanks for your support. Let's make the 11th of the 11th 11 a day we'll never forget.